requesting that we make to this ordinance is a new mandate by the state of California.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, it leaves me to wonder why we have to vote on it at all. Why the state just doesn't, by fiat, put it in our code. I'm sorry, that wasn't a question.
I have a question on slide number 6, if you could go back. I just would like to understand the basic reduced parking ratios. Is that applicable for the entire development or just the just with respect to the affordable units?
The entire development.
Okay, so you could have 10 affordable units and 50 at market rate, and this applies to all of them?
That's correct.
That's the bonus. Okay, thank you.
No other questions, I guess. We will open this item up for public comment. As a public hearing item, I'll open for public input. Yes, Mr. Cook.
Okay, the only question I had is why the exemption from CEQA review? I didn't get that through the item. I saw it in there, but I don't understand it.
Okay.
Is this a public hearing?
Yes, we're ready. Sure.
It says 3 minutes. It's supposed to be 5, isn't it? I'm not gonna take it all, it's just, okay, the state of California tries to guide local policy, but it doesn't dictate local policy. There's still control in your hands. Now, you've just chosen, prior to this, to throw most of that away with your vote on the other item. There are things that you can do to slow down this train. The state wants housing. The state wants to take care of people that the budgetary constraints have thrown out on the streets. They're living in the riverbed because they're emptying the jails and emptying the prisons. They're shutting down all the mental institutions. So the solution is to have the cities just build all these warehousing facilities. We don't have to do exactly what the city says. Excuse me, what the state says. We can do things our way still. There are a lot of ways that we don't have to just roll over and do what they tell us, because they're not telling us exactly what to do. They're telling us what we can do. They're not telling us how to do it. They're telling us what is okay to do. They're allowing us to loosen things up to accommodate a changing demographic in a changing socioeconomic situation that has been looming for quite some time. Affordability and housing are not words that usually go together anymore, and they're trying to find a way to make that the case. We're already in a situation where we're extremely dense. Look at the roads, look at the traffic. I'm going to remind people in the room that 95% of the United States is rural open space, according to the United States Census Bureau. There is an agenda to move people into these compact cities. I won't get into why, aside from the fact that that's just the plan, is to get us into the compact cities. And unfortunately, these city councils all across the state are just falling like bowling pins in the bowling alley and just going right along with this. The problem is the jobs are disappearing, and we've become warehousing facilities of rental properties and high-density housing units. Now, we saw what happened in England with that towering inferno where they had the ability to cut corners, and I read some corner cutting in this here tonight. They used the cheap cladding, and look what happened. It incinerated a bunch of innocent people. I'm not a fan of high-density housing. I'm not a fan of warehousing people, and I'm not a fan of cutting corners. And I'm not a fan of city councils playing dumb and pretending like there's nothing we can do when in fact we have plenty of options to still regain local control. Because if we've lost it all, then we need to all go home. Thank you.
Any other speakers to this item?